Thomas Jefferson's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson recreates his photo. Stunning. The resemblance is uncanny. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Easy Peasy. I'm your host, David the Baker, and today we're going to be taking a look on into r/Damn That's Interesting. We've seen mildly interesting, we've seen interesting as frick, but now it's time for the big finale, Damn That's Interesting. You know, I'm sure you're ready to dive on into the video, so without further ado, let's go. Difference between orange suit and white suit. Did you ever wonder why some astronauts sometimes wear orange suits and sometimes white? The orange-colored Advanced Crew Escape Suits, or ACEs, is the Space Shuttle Ascent and Entry suit. This particular color is highly visible against any kind of landscape, especially in the sea. The white-colored ones are the bulkier extravehicular activity suits. That is because white reflects the strong heat of the sun and is easily visible against the black expanse of space. The more you know. This should basically be the law at all ruins. Kruševac Fortress in Serbia with a window to its glorious past. Aw, now that is some next level design right there. Yeah, they're right, this should be everywhere. Introducing the Russian space pin. You see, when NASA first started sending astronauts into space, they realized that a ballpoint pen would not work at zero gravity. $1 million investment in 2 years of tests resulted in a pen that could write in space, upside down, on almost any surface, and at temperatures ranging from below freezing to over 300 Celsius. When confronted with the same problem, the Russians used a pencil. You'd think that's a good idea, but check this out. In the early years of spaceflight, both Russians and Americans used pencils in space. Unfortunately, pencil lead is made of graphite, a highly conductive material. Snapped graphite leads and particles in zero gravity are highly problematic, as they will get sucked into the air ventilation or electronic equipment, easily causing shorts or fires in the pure oxygen environment of the capsule. After the fire in Apollo 1, which killed all of the astronauts on board, NASA required a writing instrument that wasn't a fire hazard. Fisher spent over $1 million of his own money creating a pressurized ballpoint pen, which NASA bought at $2.95 each. The Russian space program also switched over from pencils shortly after. 40 years later, snide morons on the internet still snigger about it, because snide morons on the internet never know what they're talking about. Geez, you would have thought the pencil would be a good solution, but no. They were onto something creating a space-proof pen. Juan Catalan spent nearly 6 months in jail for a murder of a teenage girl until his lawyer found unused footage from a HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm episode that proved he had been at a Dodgers game with his 6-year-old daughter. Oh, yep, cue the theme song. Boom, boom, boom. Two volunteers in India give lessons to poor children under the bridge for free. You see, because that's what good teachers do. Hats off to these teachers. In the 20 years before Einstein died, he almost never accepted invitations to speak at universities. In 1946, he broke his self-imposed rule to give an address and accept an honorary degree from a small, traditionally black university, Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. At Lincoln University, he declared, "The separation of races is not a disease of colored people, but a disease of white people. I do not intend to be quiet about it." Down below, Albert Einstein teaches a physics class to young black men in 1946. Einstein was like, "Hey, I don't normally do this, but even I know segregation is wrong." My dad is a house painter and has recently started framing leftover paint from inside of work buckets. He calls it bucket art because we're from Maine. I hope you guys think it's as interesting as I do. Hey, your dad might be onto something. That looks like an actual legitimate painting. He just might make some good money off of it. I just found out how koalas are weighed, and it's the cutest thing ever. You mean this isn't a normal tree? I don't know what to believe anymore. Magic carpets, the art of Faig Ahmed's melted and pixelated rugs, where pieces sell for upwards of $15,000. Typically, they begin as a classic pattern that encounters an obstacle or glitch, a sort of technical meltdown. Oh, now I see why this goes up for $15,000. That must have taken a lot of time to stitch up. 10 out of 10 for creativity. Lala, an uninjured king penguin, was nursed back to health in Japan. He refused to leave his caregivers, so they adopted him and gave him an air-conditioned room in their house. He would explore the neighborhood, receive fish from the store, and lived with the family for 10 years before dying of old age in 1996. Yes, a life well lived. This is the closest photo of Saturn ever taken. Wait, how did they get so close to Saturn? No, really, was an astronaut just standing there with like a Kodak film camera, just like, I finally got it? What orthodontic surgery can do. This person with a bit of a sunken chin, and then after surgery, they look like this. I gotta say, that is a considerable difference. Someone punched a hole in the wall in the men's bathroom, and the staff decided to frame it. Yes, fragile masculinity, artist unknown, 2018. That is brilliant. Excellent job. Scientists believe that a function of a zebra's stripes is to deter insects, so a team of researchers painted black and white stripes on several cows and discovered that it reduced the number of biting fleas landing on the cows by more than 50%. Oh, I love this. The farmer's sitting around like, the gosh darn cows are getting bit too much. So he just grabs a Sharpie and some whiteout and turns them into zebras. I love it. In the 1930s, a flute player had a pet lyrebird that mimicked his music. He later released it into the wild. Fragments of the flute player's music were passed down by generations of lyrebirds and are still present in their songs today. Ayo, forget marketing your music on SoundCloud, just sing it to a couple of birds. In a couple of years, you're going to be the most popular person in the animal kingdom. Jim Thorpe, a legendary Native American athlete, had his shoes stolen just before he was about to compete in the Olympics. He found a mismatched pair of shoes in the trash can, and he went on to win a gold medal wearing them. He was also the first Native American to win a gold medal for the United States. What a lame tactic it is to like steal someone else's shoes just so they can like lose the competition, but this guy wasn't having any of it. He's like, I don't need the same pair of shoes, I'll wear different sizes. And you know what? I'll still win a gold medal. Excellent, just excellent. My latest sandcastle. Aw, come on. It's magnificent. You know this is just for fun on the beach, like you didn't have to build yourself a new house. Cleft lip and cleft palate, 2-week surgery. Here's before and after. I love how this kid was able to maintain a smile throughout the whole thing. That's beautiful. This is what Tokyo, the largest city on earth, looks like from a plane. Can you imagine like Aladdin trying to talk about this? He'd be like, I can show you the world. Towers, buildings, lights, millions of people. Oh my god, it's too much! It would completely fry his brain, I'm just saying. Chicago public school teacher Dwayne Reed, whose wife is 8 months pregnant with their first child, requested to work from home to minimize his COVID risk. His school district said no, so Reed's teaching remotely from right outside his school. This man is determined not to get the virus. He's like, oh, I'll stay in the cold. The Oregon Accumulator was a device sold in the 1950s. Its inventor claimed it allowed a person sitting inside to attract orgon, a massless healing energy. When the FDA was investigating the device, they noted that one purchaser, a college professor, knew it was phony but found it helpful because his wife sat quietly in it for 4 hours every day. Forget orgon's massless healing energy. This guy is projecting incredible boomer energy. He's like, look, I know it's fake. I just don't like spending time with my wife, man. What can I say? Cistercian monks made a numeral system in the 13th century. A single symbol would represent numbers up to 9,999. They were used for years, for divisions of text, the numbering of notes and other lists, indexes and coordinates, arguments and Easter tables, and even for musical notation. Now, at first glance, it does kind of look super confusing, like how could somebody read this? But if you take a little bit of time to like understand how the numbers work, it actually kind of makes sense. An original Zippo of the war in Vietnam. Vietnam, Saigon, 1968 to 1969. Too young to vote, but not to die. Too young to love, but too old to cry. Oh, that's a collector's item if I've ever seen one. Before and after of a man who walked across China for a year. This man has seen some things. He has lived, he's experienced. Honestly, the dude looks like he's been through a lot. A father designs a headstone for his wheelchair-bound son, depicting him free of his earthly burdens. What a great way to memorialize your son. Ascending upwards, presumably going to a better place. Nicely done. Where the terms uppercase and lowercase came from the early days of the printing press. Oh, so there's like a literal uppercase and lowercase. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? That's crazy. The longest road in the world that a person can walk on. So on one trip, you could travel from Africa, Europe to Asia. Yo, that's an insanely long ride. You're gonna need a lot of trail mix to get through something like that. Scientists have managed to revive a plant from the Pleistocene in their vials. This guy is 32,000 years old. 32,000 years old and still looking good for a flower. Genetics is so cool. My parents always told me that I look like my dad's mom, but I never got to meet her before she passed away. On the right is my grandmother holding my dad, and on the left is me holding my son, taken exactly 63 years apart. Oh my goodness, no. You look exactly like your grandmother. That is insane. Super uncanny. Turning a dead tree into a small free library that looks like something straight out of a fairy tale. The creativity alone to see a dead tree and say, this could be a library. Definitely a weird idea, but great execution. Age 15 versus age 17. I'm not gonna lie, for somebody like me who doesn't understand the basic fundamentals of art, both of these look really good. Population density of the USA. Would you look at that? So people really don't live in North Dakota. I knew that was a fake state. Former billionaire Chuck Feenley has given away over 99% of his $6.3 billion to help underprivileged kids go to college. He is now worth $2 million. Yes, because that is what heroes do. And hey, could you pay for my college? That'd be pretty cool. There's a festival in Nepal that dedicates an entire day to thank dogs for their friendship and loyalty. You know, I think every every country should have this holiday. It doesn't have to just be about dogs, like it could be about any pet you have, but like, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Daft Punk performing helmetless in 1993. A forbidden photo. We're not supposed to see Daft Punk without their helmets on? It's like accidentally walking in on somebody who's using the bathroom. Just close your eyes. We're not supposed to see this. Never too late. Grandma goes to the gym and this is her now. Jeez, grandma is ripped. Aw, come on. All of the memes from like the early 2010s they're all grown up now. They're mature. They look like normal people. I don't like it one bit, but I'm glad they're doing well. Oh, except for the guy at the bottom. Yeah, no, he still looks like a meme. This sashimi roll. Ignore the fact that I might have pronounced that wrong and just admire how good looking this is. Like, I'm allergic to fish, but even I would eat something like this just to see what it tastes like. And I'm sorry, is that gold sprinkled on top? Mwah, delicious. In 1956, after losing a bet at a bar, Thomas Fitzpatrick successfully stole a plane from the airport and landed it in front of the bar. Then 2 years later, he did it again after a man didn't believe he had done it the first time. Wait, how did he do this? The airport must have had terrible security, but for frick's sake, give this man a pilot's license, like he deserves it. Girl came into my work and after a bit of conversation showed me that she had 6 fingers on each hand. This isn't Photoshop. This is an actual photo of a customer who came into the phone store I work at in Summerville, South Carolina. Oh, now that is so cool. First off though, she doesn't have a middle finger. That must be kind of confusing. Second off, she has a wedding ring, which I just feel so sorry for the partner. They go to put on the ring like, which one's the ring finger? Oh no. Beautiful, just beautiful. In 2017, a baby was born in China 4 years after his parents died in a car crash. His grandparents fought a lengthy legal battle which allowed them to use the couple's embryos, which had been frozen in liquid nitrogen. The baby was born to a surrogate mother, and after his birth, all 4 grandparents took a DNA test to prove that the baby was indeed their grandson. Yo, this is some sci-fi level stuff. That is insanely cool. The grandparents were like, we're getting a grandbaby one way or another. I mean, the loss of the parents is tragic, but I really gotta admire the dedication that the grandparents did to have the baby. Bus drivers in Japan went on a strike, but continued to drive their routes while refusing to take fares from passengers, so keeping Japan on time but costing the bus companies gas on top of lost revenue. Ah yes, 1000 IQ revenge play. There's a banyan tree in Pakistan that has been chained and officially arrested since 1898. This happened when James Squid, a British officer, thought the tree was moving towards him after drinking alcohol. Mr. Squid was tripping. He was like, that tree is coming to get me. Somebody put him in handcuffs. D-Day veterans sitting across from their younger selves in the same plane which dropped them into Normandy in 1944. Wow, I can't even imagine how like anxious I would have been if I was back on one of those planes. But they were all sitting there looking like, and I'd do it again too. Please stop depicting blobfish like this. I am in unimaginable pain. This is not cute or silly. This is the disfigured corpse of an animal whose tissues have exploded due to rapid pressure change from surfacing. Instead, try depicting them like this. Ah, much better. Psychrolutes, the proper name for blobfish, look like this in their natural habitat deep in the sea. Happy, handsome, and alive. Yeah, like this is a good thought and all, like it's cool to see them like where they're happy and alive, but nah, I'm gonna stick to blobfish. I kind of like blobfish. A man named Chen Si spends every weekend of his life at the Nanjing River Bridge, the world's #1 suicide site, and saves people from jumping. He has saved more than 321 people from killing themselves. Oh man, what a hero. I hope these people got the help they need. 35-minute time exposure of illegal fireworks being set off in Los Angeles. Oh man, imagine if these all happened at the same time. Aliens looking down on Los Angeles would be like, I think the city exploded. This is what an illegally taken picture from one of the greatest pyramids looked like. Wait, how did this person get up there? That is so cool. I know you're not supposed to take pictures like these, but I gotta say, I'm really glad this person did, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime perspective. I spent 2 years and 18 hours of exposure time to capture the Crescent Nebula, and I mean, to be fair, it definitely seems worth it. Sure, it might have taken 2 years to get this, but now you have the coolest, most unique wallpaper for your phone. Seems like an absolute win if you ask me. The Yulon Magnolia blossoms appear to look like little birds. Why do plants know how birds look? Like, I'm afraid. Yep, and in a couple of years, plants are gonna start to look like humans too. If you're sitting beside a plant, you might want to just take them outside or just get as far away from them as you can, because we're next. No Name is a gem of Canada. Every product is so unbelievably ominous, I really laugh my butt off every time I go shopping. I've never heard of No Name before, but it looks kind of cool. I can imagine walking in and an employee's like, hello, welcome to No Name. My name is Redacted. Would you like cola, cocoa, apple beverage, or perhaps you might like mayonnaise? Complete ancient Rome replica, 36 years in the making. Geez, I knew Rome was developed, but this looks insane. In a small town in County Cork, Ireland, a monument stands in appreciation to the American Katwa Indian tribe. Although impoverished shortly after being forced to walk the Trail of Tears years, the tribe somehow gathered $170 to send to Ireland for famine relief in 1847. Aw man, nothing is quite like human compassion. The 1966 North Dakota blizzard. Oh, that is some serious snow. Can you imagine being the weatherman like, this just in folks, looks like we're about to get another 12 of snow. Oh, not 12 inches, no, 12 feet. May God be with us all. With schools closed, SBCFC buses equipped with free Wi-Fi will be parked throughout the city neighborhoods for families that don't have access at home. But did you know CB schools have been doing this throughout the entire year on evenings and weekends? This is another innovative way that CB public schools have been assisting those working families who need it the most. Great job and thank you. These are two different prisoners. Will West is on the left and William West is on the right. They lived about 100 years ago and were not related and did not know each other, but they are part of the reason that fingerprint recognition was brought in. Ah, you're under arrest, Will West. I'm not Will West, I'm William West. Wait, what? What's going on here? Geez, like how unfortunate. If I was a witness testifying and they put these two in front of me, I would have a freaking meltdown. The $35 that scientific journals charge you to read a paper goes 100% to the publisher, 0% to the authors. If you just email us to ask for our papers, we are allowed to send them to you for free, and we will be genuinely delighted to do so. What's something that seems obvious within your general profession, but the general public seems to misunderstand? You see, the more you know. Ah yes, cue the more you know sequence. The more you know. In 2017, Glenn Rains ran the Boston Marathon 26.22 miles or 42.195 kilometers, dressed in nothing but a fur loincloth and a necklace made out of human and animal bones. And yes, he was barefoot. Instantly dubbed the caveman by fellow runners, Rains finished in a respectable 3 hours and 40 minutes. He trained for over a year to toughen up his feet and allow time for his hair to grow out. When he was asked why he did it, he replied that he just wanted to remind people that expensive running shoes and high-tech athletic clothing are nice to have, but are not as important as a balanced diet and determination. And also that, hey, it was fun. This man is an absolute legend. Look at this man. He's like, me eat vegetables, me grow strong, me finish race. And with that, everyone, that's going to conclude this episode of r/darn that's interesting. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below and don't forget to press the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified of all of our easy peasy uploads. I'm your host, David the Baker, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. So till then, peace out and 3 thumbs up.